Question. Mark, do you think it's possible the dinar will be on Forex Monday, February 17th, President's Day? Mark Z. I think it's highly possible. I have multiple confirmations of bond commissions being paid in the last 24 hours on historic bonds. I am very excited but do not know what it means for our timing, yet. But this is money going to people I know. People I know have money. I am very excited. A number of contacts now have spendable dollars. This has never happened before. This is brand new and gives me great hope. Question. So once bonds are paid it's our turn? Mark Z. Yes, then it's our turn. Mr. Sammy says, for what it is worth, now at this point, it will come out $3.50 to $3.80 and probably be a managed float. Meaning 10% growth daily. Thinking out loud, it won't go much over $4, before settling back just ahead of Kuwait dinar. I could be 100% wrong but I have a gut feeling. Frank. I think the reason why you have a gut feeling is because you have been allowed to attend some of the meetings that you cannot talk about. Concerning the new exchange rate, it can be anything from 50 cents to a $1 or just over $1. But I will admit, your opinion that it may come out at 3 and above is logical because this is a reinstatement. And it should start where it left off at $3.22. IMF. Iraq is financially stable and does not need aid. The director of the Middle East and Central Asia at the International Monetary Fund. Iraq on the list of countries most attractive to investments. Question. Your friend has an Iraqi bank in Dearborn, Michigan. Would you exchange your currency at that bank? No, no, no. I'm an American. I'm a patriot. I'd rather exchange at an American bank. Even thought I'm not too happy with them, because I want the dinars to go to our Federal Reserves to help our country. If I go to Aki's bank the dinars will go back to the CBI. The CBI doesn't mind we are helping our country. People who will get paid before the official Forex listing are contract holders who contracted to sell to private buyers. These contracts are pre-2011 October. This is because of the law of one price. It is illegal to sell the same financial instrument for different prices in different markets. There are a few other groups that were sanctioned by the UST, but they are very few. They will get higher returns on investment than the regular guy off the street. It is a myth that you will be offered a contract rate at a redemption center. Neither exist in the real world. All sanctioned groups are under strict NDAs. There will be no telegraphing of pre-payouts and no one will be screaming like a stuck pig, lest they want their payments clawed back. Lose their money. Parliamentary Finance Committee expects to send budget tables next week. We all know there's a component of that tripartite budget that hasn't been exposed, which is I believe the exchange rate of their new real effective exchange rate. I find things are pretty interesting on who is where. Right now we are being told Sadani is in Prague. One of his top deputies is at the US in New York. Prez. Trump is now sitting down with India's Modi, so let's think BRICS. Let's think World Court. Let's think UN for monetary values change. We are talking World Court, UN, and pretty much everybody is where they should be to make something move. I enjoy watching geopolitical moves right now. What do we need in order to have a new exchange rate for the currency of Iraq? Security and stability. Let's see where we stand. We've heard from different sources, about 4 or 5 different sources that came in with very similar information, and the overall consensus is that it's ready to be started or ready for us to receive notifications. The next piece of intel that we received from a U.S. Space Force contact that said that we would be exchanging, according to this source, no later than Saturday, the 15th of the month. America stops the dollar cash to Iraq. Will the dollar rise against the dinar? Remember, this is the use of cash dollar. They will still have electronic transfer from the feds of dollars to Iraq. But this is a move that I believe is in agreement with the CBI to finally shut down the parallel market for good. This comes on the heels of the issue with Rafidian banks continue smuggling of the cash dollars to Iran. This is an amazing article. Wow article. The US is finally doing it. They should have cut off the dollars off years ago. We would be much farther ahead now in the RV process. But now it is being done. A good sign for us investors. How will this impact the Iraqi economy? Seems to me the US wants the dinar to rise in value, and this may be leading us to something very important. You want to find out every perk, everything that they're going to do for you. First of all, how are you going to exchange my currency? Are you going to charge me a fee to exchange it? They'll tell you, yeah, 1%, 2%, 3%. Wait a minute, before we even go any further, I got to ask you a question. Do you think it's fair for you to charge me to exchange this currency when I'm going to put it in your account and you're going to make money with it right away? Aren't you making money off my money? And then you may freeze my account for 30 days. You want to charge me for putting it in your bank? I tell you what, I've got one or two options. I'm either going to say goodbye to you right now and go to another bank and see what they got to offer me, or you're going to pick up the phone and drop those charges for me right now. It's that simple, Mr. Bank Officer. They're going to fire back at you that these are corporate rules and regulations. Yeah, they can be changed because I got a lot of currency. Do you want my business or not? The al-Bashara movement, led by former Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki, attacked on Saturday the government of Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, considering that its ministerial program is hostage to randomness and ill-considered temporary solutions, while it sent a series of messages to the Iraqi authorities. MP Mohammed al-Rumaithi stressed, in a speech to the al-Bashara movement, on the 9th anniversary of its founding, which was attended by Shafaq News Agency, the necessity for government programs to include scientific standards and practical solutions to accumulated problems and not remain hostage to randomness and temporary, ill-considered solutions. Al-Rumaithi called on the government to adhere to legal restrictions, especially in the field of budget disbursement, by giving the governor their dues, and not to single-handedly allocate dues in violation of the law, and in accordance with electoral interests and others. He also called on the House of Representatives to activate its legislative and oversight role to protect the electoral process from the use of state resources and public money to influence the election results, through a fair and strict election law that protects the inputs of the electoral process and its results. Al-Rumaithi called on the Iraqi judiciary to speed up the resolution of cases and files of officials, before starting the process of registering parties, entities and figures who intend to participate in the upcoming legislative elections. He believed that it is the national and moral duty of the members of the House of Representatives to legislate a law that protects the rights of the mujahideen of the Popular Mobilization Forces, and protects them from those who lie in wait and manipulate. There is no justification for delaying it all this time, except for personal desire.